So thank you, Chantal, and friends. First of all, I would like to warmly thank Marcel and the Social Democratic Party of Romania for hosting the European Committee of the Socialist International. Thank you very much. And I would also like to thank all the representatives of our member parties who are here with us in this beautiful city of Bucharest. So looking back in history, I would like to recall that it was here in Bucharest where a very important committee of the Socialist International was held in February 1999. In that committee, the SI asked the European Union to take the courage to lead, to have a long-term vision to develop and promote its values. It called for Social Democrats to have a main role in shaping the Europe of the future. So 25 years have passed, and some of those reflections are still as valid, if not even more, than they were then. But with an important twist, today we are facing the advance, as Chantal and Marcel said, of the far right and extremist populism. They are advancing strongly throughout the continent. It is undeniable. And not only at ballot boxes, they are successfully imposing their frameworks on conventional right-wing parties incapable of resisting their thrust. They are increasingly inclined to assume the discourse of the far right on immigration, backdrop on gender equality, or on the fight against climate change. This is a moment, I believe, of truth. Today we can no longer count on forces from which we were separated by an ideological abyss, but with which we shared determination to confront the far right. So it is up to us to stand up for ourselves. It is our responsibility to stand up to this reactionary wave, because no one else will. We are the last line of defense, and it depends on us that Europe does not betray its own soul. Nevertheless, we are not alone. We have each other, and that's the historic responsibility that the Socialist International must assume today, to be a beacon of hope for the progressive people of the continent, of Europe, and to build bridges in the face of shared challenges. This continent, Europe, learned from a tragic past to defend peace and dialogue, to understand other cultures and civilizations, to fight against injustice and inequality, to lead the world in the great cause of the 21st century, equality between men and women. Today, as Marcel said, peace is threatened by wars on Europe's doorstep, in Ukraine, also in the Middle East, in Gaza. And we can no longer take for granted advances we thought to be consolidated, because the risk of regression is real. Is very real, unfortunately. We must act with determination and loyalty to our principles, the principles and values of the social democratic family. We must strengthen our democracy and provide it with tools to fight those who polarize and break societies through lies, hoaxes, and of course, disinformations. The paradox of this historical time, my dear friends, is that never before our ideology and our proposals and values and principles have so clearly proved their success as now. In the face of this series of crises we have faced, the pandemic, the energy crisis, and so on and so forth. So we must turn this moral victory into a real victory, because this is the way to stop the far right governing as Marcel is doing in Romania, and of course myself is doing, of course, in Spain. So it is not about being right, it is about winning elections, but not only winning in the battle of ideas, as I mentioned before, but also in the battle of concrete actions. So for instance, raising the minimum wage for our workers, strengthening the welfare state, as Marcel is doing in Romania and myself in Spain, advancing in rights and freedoms, protecting and caring for public services. There is no better antidote to reactionary populism than a government addressing the real problems of our people. This is, I believe, the way to fight the frustration and anger they feed on. So we have reasons for hope today. However, many of our parties have made progress in the last European elections. In Turkey, our friends achieved excellent results in the local elections, so congratulations. And just this week, the United Kingdom, the Labour Party and Keir Starmer ended 14 years of conservative governments with an overwhelming victory. This, I believe, is great news and a great joy for progressive across the continent. And tomorrow, all our attention is focused on France, and I would like to send a message of resounding support to our dear friends and comrades from the Socialist Party and, of course, the Nouveau Front Populaire, and I believe not only Olivier, but also Raphael Glucksmann are joining us today in this committee. Only we, my dear friends, the Socialists, are capable of stopping the far right. All our support to the French Socialists and the coalition of the left, let's win and let's govern. We did it in Spain a year ago, in Europe a month ago, and I am convinced that tomorrow you French Socialists will do it. So French progressive, the world is watching you. You will defeat the far right and you will govern, because the best way to stop the reactionary way is to govern. My friends, the scale of the challenges we face is enormous. That is why I have proposed the creation of a committee of the European Socialist International to promote, in the first place, dialogue between our parties, which I think is very necessary, to understand each other, to comprehend each other, to see how can we cooperate and collaborate all together, but additionally, to broaden this dialogue with other member parties of our organization from other continents. Africa, of course, Latin America, where the advance of reactionary populism is especially worrying, in Latin America. Also, this evening, we will choose the president of this new European Committee. This committee should be an open space for deliberation with other parties from candidate countries or states that are no part of the European Union. A laboratory of ideas and solutions open to academics, activists and intellectuals who wish to enrich our deliberations. Other important news I want to share with you is that we are very happy to announce the agreement for an institutional relation with the presidency of the group of Socialists and Democrats and Greens of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, which I think is great news for our organization, with the appointment of Ms. Selin Sayek-Bouk, Secretary General of the CHP Turkey, our sister party in the Committee of Europe we created today. So I conclude, my dear friends, by once again thanking the comrades of the Social Democratic Party of Romania for their hospitality. And we now open the floor for the debate. Thank you very much, and thank you again, once again, to Marcel and to our dear friends from Romania for this very important committee. And now, if you want, Chantal, what we can do is to open the floor to our friends.